plant the seeds of the posture in the rooted leg, release joints, hips especially, and then push into the ground with the front third of the foot to make the posture happen. And in doing that, when you plant, when you drop down, the dantian drops down and away a little bit. And when you energize, it moves the dantian forward. Now, one thing I didn't say, which I'll say now, if you energize both legs, if you get to here and energize both legs, this is what will happen. If you energize just the front leg, that's what we want. And you can see in that movement the foot to the leg, to the waist, to the fingers. See how these are connected? It's almost as if there were a string from here to here that pulls that forward. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what you're after. And that means that when you de-energize and exhale, the waist drops out, and when you energize, the body becomes upright again, vertical. Legs bent, upper body vertical. When you de-energize, it slams. Okay, and that's physics. If you try to de-energize and stay upright, then this can't really release. And the less that releases, the less potential there is. So when you're doing the form, you're just pushing on air. It doesn't matter. But when I had you do the pushing exercise, and I had you drop your head so your body went like this is for pushing major league weight. Okay, and you can, if you know to push upward, you can, even somebody who's fairly small can push somebody twice their weight easily. Because as long as they can support their weight, they're not pushing anymore, the floor is pushing. And I've, countless times had students at workshops and seminars who weighed like 270, who I could just throw away just like that. Not because there's anything special about me, but because I knew how to connect to the ground. And all I had to do was be able to support their weight for that moment. So when you're actually pushing somebody, later on when you do that thing where maybe you're going to step in, you're pushing with somebody, you step, whoosh, like that, then you can really drop out. When you're doing the form, you just need to know the feeling of this actually dropping out, not doing this, which doesn't do anything. These are still flat. It's when the inguinal groove is folded that you have the potential for power. So it's kind of important to remember that the Tai Chi is about yin and yang, and the tendency in the Chungman Ching tradition is to talk a whole lot about the yin part, sinking, 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 and not really explore the yang part, which is issuing. And you kind of learn that through experience if you do push hands. William found a way of quantifying the yang part, of teaching you the body mechanics of how this wakes up without turning it into a hard, rough style. Okay?
So plant the seeds of the posture.
Plant the seeds of the posture and grow the posture from those seeds. That's the biggest idea. And stay relaxed. Like all Ben stuff, when I teach, I stole Ben's 5 things, but I turned them into 3 things, because body upright isn't totally true. It's like, if you watch Ben, it's body relatively upright, but there is the dropping out and the connecting. And with William too, when you watch William, if he's not trying to show it to you, you won't see it. It'll look like he's just doing this. But if he's demonstrating it, he'll say, no, you make sure this releases, and do that. He used to, when I first started with him, he used to call this the reset button. He said, you do a punch, and then you hit the reset button, and then you can do another punch. So, and that's kind of a good image. Okay? So all of that stuff is part of the deal.
So you took those 5 things.
Oh yeah, I made it into 3
so
things.
I got rid
of Fair Lady's Wrist because in William's form, and I'll tell you something.
Fair Lady's Wrist,
watch
okay.
watch the films of Chungman Ching online. He does not do push like this. You'll see his hands go like this and go like that.
Yeah.
So it's like William picked up some things, Ben picked up other things. They both have part of what Chung had. but not always the same parts. But, you know, like, you're going to connect with what you connect with. For me, I connected with William, and he was really the guy for me.